Hi, I'm Tiffany. Welcome to Towering TBR. I am so excited to film this video today because it is the merging of two of my favorite passions, reading and readathons and Eurovision. So I'm going to be participating in Eurovisionathon, which is hosted by Helen. I will link her in the description. I feel like this video is probably going to be pretty long. So first I will do a quick refresher of what Eurovision is about. I will then talk about the specifics of the readathon, and then I will tell you the top 10 songs and the books I intend to read, and also want some recommendations. If you already know how Eurovision works, or you already know how Eurovisionathon works, skip ahead to that top 10. But if you don't know what I'm talking about, stick with me and I will explain it. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you can see all of my videos where I vlog my experience with this readathon. So, first, a quick description of Eurovision. This started way back in the 1950s. Different broadcast companies in Europe decided to get together and have a songwriting competition. It is so much more than songwriting, though. There are costumes and flames and special effects, strobe lights, LED lights, all sorts of fun things that make it quite a show. So this year, 37 countries are participating. 15 countries are performing on the first semifinal night and 16 on semifinal 2. Viewers will vote for the top 10 on each of the nights. And those top 10 from both of the semifinals will go on to compete in the grand final. You might be like, your math's not working. You said 37 countries, but only 31 are competing in the semifinals. And no, for once, I did not get my math wrong. There are 5 countries known as the Big Five who pay more than other countries, and they are automatically allowed to qualify for the final. Those 5 countries are the UK, Spain, France, Germany, and Italy. And the other country that is guaranteed a spot in the final is the host country, which is Switzerland this year. Okay. So Eurovisionathon is created and hosted by Helen. I will link her and her announcement video in the description below. There is a sign-up sheet that she has, and there is also a Storygraph link, which will help you find recommendations if you decide you'd like to participate. The readathon is to read books that are either set in a Eurovision country or written by someone from that country. And however that country does in the final, however many points they get, is how many points you get for reading that book. If I read for a country that does not qualify, meaning they were on semifinal 1 or 2 and they were eliminated by the popular vote, I would then get 0 points. It might be a good option to pick books that you know will be in the grand final, such as the Big Five and Switzerland, but that's not how I'm playing it. I'm not trying to be strategic this year. I am trying to pick the songs that I most want to win. The readathon goes from April 19th to May 17th, which is the date of the grand final. I am going to be sharing my top 10 favorite songs, short snippets if I can manage, and also discussing my pile of possibilities and requesting recommendations for the countries that I plan to read for. Big shout out to Audrey at Audrey Approved. She is doing a Read the World challenge and was kind enough to let me access her spreadsheet so that I have already gotten loads of recommendations. However, I am quite the mood reader and I don't always know what I'll be in the mood for, so I would love even more recommendations. These snippets are not going to do the songs justice, so I will make sure to link all of the songs that are on Spotify and the music videos that are on YouTube in case you're like, I want to hear more of that song. I will make it really easy for you to find them. My list of favorites probably would be different on a different day, but this is the order that I'm feeling today. I'm going to start out with my favorite song, which is Wasted Love by JJ, who is representing Austria. Let's listen. I love this song so much. It is the ultimate unrequited love song. Opera did well last year with Nemo having some opera, in their song, and I'm hoping opera will succeed again. I think the song is beautiful and the artist is immensely talented, and I'm just in love with this song. So, what are my options for Austria? I have The Wall by Marlene Hoshofer. This is a dystopian book. She is in the Austrian mountains, and all of a sudden, she is cut off from society with this invisible wall. It is just her and I think a few animals, and it sounds really good and sounds really interesting. I have heard Emily over at Books with Emily Fox talk about it, and she really liked it. So I'm quite excited to pick this up, possibly. The other option I have is The Language of Spells by Garrett Weir. This is a middle grade novel about dragons living in Austria, and it sounds great. However, it does not have an audiobook, and if you're new, I use audiobooks as accommodations because I get migraines, which disturb my vision. And so books without audiobooks can make it take a lot longer for me to read. So if you have any other options for Austria, I would love to hear them. My second favorite song is called C'est la vie by Claude, and he represents the Netherlands. I love this song. It is so catchy, and I love that there's a combination of French and English. His music video kind of focuses on him and his family. They fled the Congo and moved to the Netherlands when he was 9, and he remembers learning about Eurovision. He talks about it being a representation of all of the ups and downs in life, and it is so, so fun and catchy. So I have a few options for the Netherlands. My first option is The Safe Keep by Yael van der Wooden. I don't know much about this other than it's been nominated for a bunch of book prizes, and it is set in the 1960s in the Netherlands. I've heard book reviewers say don't go in knowing a lot, like finding it out as the story develops is the best way. So I don't know anything else about this book, but it's on my list as a possibility. Another option is The Miniaturist by Jessie Burton. This is also a historical fiction, and I think there could be some magical realism as well. Not sure. If you've read it, let me know. And my third option is I'd Rather Not Think About It by Henty Postuma, which is about twins, and one of the twins takes their own life, and the other has to grapple with that decision. Sounds a bit dark. Sounds like it might not be the best book to read if I'm in a low headspace. So if you've read any of these or you have more suggestions, don't forget to leave them in the comments. I'm not going to say that every single time or else this video is going to be super duper long. My third favorite is Asteramata by Claudia, who represents Greece. Let's listen. I love her powerful vocals and this haunting melody. This is referencing the Pontic Greek genocide, people being displaced from their homes, and also trying to seek a better life. The lyrics are beautifully poetic, and this was one of the first songs that was released, and it was immediately one of my favorites. I do not know much about Greek myths. I honestly just haven't really been too interested in it. So I have a couple of options for Greece. The first is Zorba the Greek. This is a like a classic coming of age tale. I also have as a possibility The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I have read Circe by Madeline Miller, but this one focuses on Achilles and Patroclus. And I've heard it's good, but haven't read it. And my third option would be possibly Mythos, that is written by Stephen Fry. I think it could give me a good kind of primer about some of the different Greek myths. Really not sure what I'm going to pick for Greece. At number 4 is Kiss Kiss Goodbye by Adonix, who is representing Czechia. Let's listen. Kiss, kiss, okay, that snippet does not do it justice. This is such a great song. I would definitely recommend you checking out any of the songs that interest you. I only have one option for Czechia so far, and that is Spaceman of Bohemia by Jaroslav Kalfar. And this is one that Audrey recommended, and she called it a quote unquote fever dream. It is about a man who is a spaceman, and I think there's some sort of thing, like possibly a hallucination or possibly meeting an alien. I don't really know. Um, so this is one of my options, but I would definitely love to have more. Okay, so I adore this next song so much. I should stop saying that because I love all of these. Like, okay, you get the gist. This next song is called Poison Cake and it is by Marko Bojanak, and he is representing Croatia. Let's listen.
Tasty, yum, yum, tasty, candy, colors, oceanus. Take a bite of my poison cake. Poison cake.
This is just a song about revenge, and it is so fun. It pivots between like sweet sounding like tune to something much more hardcore and intense. And this is the only song that I'm concerned might not qualify. As much as I love it, I have found on other Eurovision chats that a lot of people don't like this song that much. So my plan is to save whatever I'm reading for Croatia till the end so that maybe I can see if he'll qualify or not. I have two books for this. The first is Dark Mother Earth by Christian Novak. And this is all about an author who is having to confront a bunch of lies that they've told. My other option is Catch the Rabbit by Lana Bastic. And this is a road trip story about two former friends on the search for one of the brothers. This has more than just Croatia, it has multiple countries. So if Croatia doesn't qualify, I could possibly maybe make this work for a different country. Although I'm not sure which countries are involved in this, but I would find out when I read. At number 6, I am putting Voyage by Zoe Me, who is representing Switzerland. Let's listen. Oh, it is hauntingly beautiful, ethereal. I love her voice, and the song is just so good. Two options I have for Switzerland. The first one is Time Shelter by Georgi Gospodov, which is a time travel novel for people with Alzheimer's. Not exactly sure, but it sounds quite interesting. The other option I have is The Last by Hannah Jameson, and it is a locked room murder mystery set in a Swiss hotel. If you've read either, definitely share your thoughts. At number 7, I am putting a very fun song called Bara Badabastu by Kai, and they are representing Sweden. Let's listen. Yes, so that song was all about saunas. Apparently, the Swedes feel very strongly about their saunas. It is such a bop and such an earworm, and I love it. I have two options for Sweden. The first is The Murderer's Ape by Jacob Wigelius. I heard Leena Norms mention this a while back and really loved it. It is a middle grade story about a gorilla who works with a man who has been accused of murder. However, it is quite a chunker, even if it is middle grade. My other option that I have is to read something by Frederick Bachman, and I have a short story of his called The Answer is No, which is all about a man who just wants to be left alone. And yeah, that sounds pretty relatable. At number 8, I really love the song Germ by Shkodra Electronic, which is representing Albania. Let's listen. Okay, that snippet specifically does not really capture the whole song because they change up the tempo quite a lot and the song is quite varied and it is so good. I only have one option for Albania currently, and that is Free by Leah Yippee. This is a nonfiction book about her growing up in under communism and watching her country basically fall apart. I think it'd be really interesting to read, but of course, I would love more options because, like I mentioned, I'm a mood reader. Who knows if I'll be in the mood for nonfiction? At number 9, I am putting the song Milkshake Man by Gojo, who is representing Australia. And no, Australia is not in Europe. I did not cover that in my very quick tutorial, but basically, their broadcaster asked about 10 years ago if they could join, and they trialed it out, and now we're part of Eurovision. Let's have a listen to the song.
From my special cup, I heard that you could use a little pick-me-up. What can get you high when you're oh so sad? It's the milk from the milkshake.
Full disclosure, I did not like this song very much the first time I heard it. It's sleazy and just oozing with sexual innuendo, but it's an earworm. It's so fun and so good. I have like so many jokey entries on this list because I think they're fun, and that's part of what Eurovision is it's just fun. Okay, so I have like a zillion options for Australia, but I've narrowed it down to 2 and would love to hear your input. The first is When Things Are Alive, They Hum by Hannah Bent. This is about 2 siblings, and one of them needs a heart transplant. And yeah, I've heard it's great. Probably will be sad. The other option, I love Trent Dalton. He's probably one of my favorite Australian authors, and I've read a lot of what he's written, but I have not yet gotten to All of the Shimmering Skies, which is about World War II, but I think from the perspective of like Australia or New Zealand. I am excited to read more Trent Dalton. I would love your input on which one you'd rather hear about. And number 10 is Baller by Abor and Tina, who are representing Germany. Let's listen. Okay. I do not normally like club songs. Like that's just not my scene. But this song, I just really, really love it. And I think she's immensely talented. So I have a few books for Germany, and the one I think I'm most confident that I would like is The End of Loneliness by Benedict Wells. It's a story about 3 orphans who are sent off to boarding school. Another option I have is Quality Land by Mark Uwe Kling. It is a dystopian satire on a capitalistic society. Honestly, that might hit way too close to home. But I have heard good things about it. And my third option is the play Spring's Awakening by Frank Wedekind. And this is a play I've seen before. I really love it. It's just a coming-of-age story about some German youth. And it is great. And it's also so short. So that might be how I can get all 10 in the 4 weeks that I have for this readathon. So like I mentioned, it's 4 weeks, and I'm going to try and read 10 books. Actually, scratch that. I'm actually going to be reading 11 books because I decided to set up a buddy read with Becca over at Read Becca. We're going to be reading Affinity by Sarah Waters. And Sarah Waters is British, so I will be also reading for the UK, which their song is pretty good. It's not top 10 good, in my opinion, but I definitely think it'd be good to get the points because I think they will do well. I am hoping to vlog weekly and take you along with the books that I read and just any Eurovision tidbits that I find out about. This is going to be my first year participating. I only found out about the readathon a few weeks after it ended last year, and I am so excited to be participating this year. And it's not too late for you. If you want to participate, definitely do it. It starts April 19th and goes to May 17th. And yeah, I just think it's going to be a lot of fun. Helen has a story graph, like I mentioned, but she also has a Discord group for people to talk about the books and the competition as well. So chat with me down in the comments. Either give me recommendations, narrow down some of my pile of possibilities, or if you want to just chat about Eurovision, I'm up for that too. Thank you so much for joining me. Bye.